Nothing heals a heavy heart better than a heavy shopping bag. I'm Blakely Thomas Aguilar, and this is Pop Culture Tech, an original podcast brought to you by VMware. Do you remember the first thing you bought online? I do. It was a textbook, and it blew my mind. Fast forward to today, a mere 25 years later, and there are two whole generations of human beings who couldn't comprehend the fact that you couldn't open an app and get something shipped right to your home in 2 days or less. Online shopping is now so common that Grandview Research says the e-commerce market value exceeded $10 trillion in 2020. And over half of consumers use smartphones for shopping, according to a recent Statista report. These exceptional numbers are due in large part to the crazy world we lived in 2020. But before we jump into the present-day shop culture tech experience, let's take a step back and dive into just how quickly we went from buying only books online to what retailers now call omni-channel shopping experiences. To take us from the past to the present, here's Joe Scarupa, retail expert and editor-at-large for RIS News.
Oh, it was definitely the consumers. I mean, Amazon was certainly in the right place at the right time. I mean, other people were around too. Certainly eBay had a lot that was going well for them. Yahoo at the time had a lot that was going for them. They were all making money in different ways. And retailers basically thought, hey, I want to, shoppers are adopting this in, large numbers. And that's something we can't ignore. But all they did was put up a website, all they did was, put up a product catalog. I mean, they had prices on it and people were able to buy. But then it turned out that they didn't really have warehouses that could ship individual products. And people were ordering from Amazon and getting it in 2 to 4 days at that time. And retailers would give them like 2-week delivery time frame, and then it would be delayed. It wouldn't even make that. And so then the customers became dissatisfied with how the standard retailers were operating. And so retailers had to catch up. And it took them quite a while. They did it kicking and screaming in a lot of cases, but shoppers demanded it, so they got on board. Where shoppers really drove the process. And another thing I love about retail is on the front lines of what people want. They have no business unless they satisfy shoppers. They have no business if they aren't giving shoppers what they want. So shoppers definitely wanted the ease of shopping from home. That said, they also realized that there was a lot of efficiency associated with shopping from home. I could search, I could compare, I could get prices and sizes and colors and things that I could never find inside a store. But then that became kind of a way that we called it store rooming for a while, and or showrooming for a while. And then retailers realized, showrooming is a great thing. Why don't we enable shoppers to come into our stores? And if they can't find what they want, let's give them the app or the way to access it from a kiosk or some sort of digital system to allow them to actually look at things in the store, find what they're looking for. Maybe they can't find their size, maybe they can't find their color, but then we give them the access to do it right there, order it online, or allow our associates to order it online. So that's the kind of blending of the physical retail with the digital retail that really works best for shoppers and retailers both.
Omnichannel is defined as an experience that integrates the current methods of shopping available to consumers, such as online, in a physical store, or even by phone. The key is that the experience is seamless and connected, Like the retailer knows your preferences, past experiences, and help it makes it easy, regardless of where you actually buy, shop, or get the product. And this is much, much harder than it sounds. A ton of tech innovation, software, big data, machine learning goes into making these modern connected shopping experiences possible.
Cloud has really been a transformative delivery mechanism for all of the systems that operate stores and keep them running efficiently. And prior to the cloud, so many of this was developed along the lines of, you don't really hear this that much anymore, but it was so big a few decades ago, was ERP systems. And those ERP systems were so proprietary and so customized that they could not scale to all of the omnichannel things we're talking about. And they were really roadblocks and choke points. And it was so hard to add on new things. A simple thing like what was happening during the COVID-19 epidemic was, well, let's set up curbside pickup. Do you know how many retailers had curbside pickup prior to COVID-19? Very few. I mean, probably less than 10%. And all of a sudden, given a few weeks' notice, they had to roll that out. That's a very hard thing to do with proprietary systems built on the old server model, mainframe model, ERP model. And so the cloud has been a lifesaver for retailers to standardize their systems, to create microservices, containers, to be able to plug in, plug out, whatever they need, whenever whenever the flexibility demands that they respond to consumer trends. So the cloud has been a huge component of digital transformation, and digital transformation itself has been a major trend. It's not about technology for technology's sake. It's technology to support all the things that consumers like and support your business. You should never invest in technology if your company has no plans for growth.
One of the retailers absolutely killing it is Dick's Sporting Goods. And the retailer's success lies in its 73-year-old legacy of customer obsession. Here's Jason Williams, VP of Athlete Technology.
So we consider all of our customers athletes. In some way or another, they have an aspiration to do sports, whether they're playing it themselves, it's their kids playing, they're just doing as a leisure specific or to stay in shape. Regardless, they are our athletes, and that's the way we treat them. We want to view them. So not only my title, but a lot of the teams that we create under my portfolios that I support have athlete as part of that, the naming culture and that convention. We call it being obsessed over the athlete. That's part of the roots of Dick's Sporting Goods.
I've personally shopped at Dick's pretty much my whole life. We take family trips to the store, or I order online and have everything from golf balls to boxing equipment delivered right to my door. In other words, I'm a huge fan of the company's omni-channel experience.
We want to create that experience where that in-store as well as online have that same omni-channel experience. Our e-commerce is an extension of our stores. So we really see our stores as the hub of the omni-channel experience that we offer. So whether you're fulfilling from one of our stores where you buy online, pick up in store, or shipping from our stores because we have 800 forward points of distribution, so we can get the hands of the product into our customers' hands as soon as possible. But we see that as one holistic experience when you see it externally, and we want to create that interactive experience for our customers because folks still want to come in and they want to feel and they want to see and they want to try on, but we want to give them the ability to either order online or order in the store and combine that experience. It's something we're continually investing in. We made strides over the years to really understand who our customer is, collect all the necessary data that we have across the online shopping experience, the in-store behaviors, knowing what our customers' buying trends are and what they're searching for online, and creating that scorecard loyalty program, which was pretty significant in 2021 or in 2020 over the course of the year. I think we increased our loyalty in our athletes. We acquired, I think it was 8.5 million new athletes, according to our 2020 earnings call. So it's really understanding how we leverage that data and how we expose it. We obviously take consuming and ensuring that the data can be aggregated and used appropriately across our different organizations and portfolios. And really, it's driven around real-time personalized data.
Like so many other companies across the world, the pandemic had a significant impact on Dick's Sporting Goods and its customer athletes.
We saw a significant spike in demand for sports like golf and tennis and in-home fitness. We realized our customers wanted to remain active and healthy, and they wanted to move, and those are some of the activities they could do safely. So we had to really figure out ways that we can provide that product to our customers in a safe way. So we stayed focused on that from a merchandising perspective, working with our suppliers and vendors to get that product to our stores. We found that the curbside service was extremely beneficial for that, as customers could, same day delivery options for products that were in high demand. Since our teammates weren't focused on the foot traffic coming in the store, we were able to fulfill those orders very quickly. We saw a significant increase in BOPUS orders and online sales over the course of the year. We often reference our curbside pickup, our contactless curbside pickup process is one of the big de facto wins that we had during that time. And we were able to deliver that service within 48 hours. But if we hadn't made that investment, within those years prior, we would not have been able to do that. So making those meaningful investments in technology with the long game in mind, it's really changed our mindset and allows us to stay nimble and try new things and be resilient and be able to pivot and work on things that matter to our customers at that time. Nobody could have guessed what we went through this past year. But being flexible and nimble and having the ability to make those changes is extremely important. The end result that we had to our customers, we built, but it was based on a lot of services that we already had readily available with our pick and pack process in the stores that we built for our teammates, with the real-time inventory services that were readily available. We were able to tie that together and put a product out there quickly across multiple portfolios. So this touched marketing, it touched e-com, and it touched stores. And we were able to build a service and quickly light that up. And then after we had that initial MVP in place, we were able to iterate to add additional features to it. It was stood up quickly, but it was probably years in the making, to tell you the truth. And it really resonated with our customers. It provided a safe means for us to provide our products that was safe both for our teammates and for our athletes.
The Dick's technology team isn't taking their foot off the pedal, even remotely. They're focusing on continuing to be a leading innovator that pushes the entire retail industry into the next era. And as always, core to their purpose and values are people, its employees, and its customer athletes.
I think the game's going to change in the next 5 years, and staying ahead of that is going to be key. Obviously, data is an area that we're going to continue to invest in. Taking a mobile-first approach, we've often done that. We see the mobile, whether it's on the online shopping experience or some of the mobile apps that we build to ensure that our teammates are more efficient. So obviously, within the stores, connectivity will be a very, very big topic over the coming years. But really, we see the differentiator being our talent. DSG is hiring futurists. They want people to really think outside of the box and build more innovative software. It may not be a software solve, maybe it's a business process solve, but we as a technology org need to be able to provide that, understand our business, and know where we can drive efficiencies or new capabilities to help the entire organization.
Now, let's go back to Joe to talk about one of my favorite future-gazing topics. You guessed it, robots.
people don't really like to use this word, robots or robotics, because it sounds so techy and so goofy with all of the movies. So let's use the term autonomous services. And advancements certainly that predated COVID, like artificial intelligence and computer vision and advanced sensing systems, were all ramping up and making big gains prior to COVID. But guess what? During COVID, touchless and autonomous, services, autonomous processes became very, very important. And so when we realized that a lot of the warehouses that are going up by advanced retailers today, many of those are completely autonomous. And guess what? That has a value in the touchless COVID world. But it's not just limited to warehouses and in that way. There are a lot of robots now going into stores that actually do automated, cleaning and sanitizing. They sanitize the stores, they clean up spills, and they enable stores to practice a better kind of social distancing and contactless protocols. Both Sam's Club and Schnucks in the Midwest, they recently began expanding their robotic fleet by adding autonomous floor scrubbers to make their stores safer. Other retailers that are doing more with robots include Amazon, of course, in their warehouses, but also the Gap, American Eagle, Chewy, and others. And so autonomous processes that are being handled by bots, that is a major trend, and I see that really exploding in the next year or two. It will be mainstream, and every retailer will have robots in one form or another.
For some, shopping is an art. For others, it's a sport. It can be a vice and it can be a cause. Some love it, some hate it. Rarely is someone indifferent. Pamela Klofka. And that's it for this episode. Join me in giving a warm thanks to our expert guests, Joe Skarupa of RIS News and Jason Williams of Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm Blakely Thomas Aguilar, and this is Pop Culture Tech. Our podcast is brought to you by VMware, the software that powers the world's complex digital infrastructure. Learn more at VMware.com. Have questions about today's episode or just want to talk about your favorite shop culture tech? Follow me at Blakely Ags and use hashtag PopCultureTech. Until next time.